I'm not really sure where to start. That was an incredible experience, just to see the family, see the love that Lorenza had for her family, her dedication, and just I told Steve when we walked out, just the scripture that kept coming to my mind is her picking up her cross daily, and just it's hard to put into words.
Pues yo lo que les pido por él.
Thank you very much to all the people that make this possible for my children to get an education. Thank you very much wherever you work, wherever you are right now. It's just, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so thankful. I'm just happy that my children are getting the help they need. So thank you very much. You've made me and my family very happy. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.
There are so many different organizations doing so many good things. But we're not going to sit and count on them to do the job that we're supposed to do. We're called to go tell them and to go love them, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
As we left Lorenza's home, we're saying goodbye to Franklin, and the thing that we had on our heart was, how do we help Lorenza? How do we come alongside her to equip her so that she can continue to build that home, provide for her family? And of course, the answer is Down Guatemala.
Yeah, so after we leave Lorenza's house, we go to the property that Alfredo has felt like the Lord's placed on his heart, where he wanted to expand and take Down Guatemala.
Currently they have over 40 families that participate, 40 children with special needs. They would love to be able to extend and open up their doors to more families, which means more resources, more teachers, more programs.
We want to touch more lives, that's the goal. And so Alfredo's thinking big. He's thinking, wow, how can we really go after a lot more lives? So how can we scale? How can we get this thing to the place where hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids are being served? And I get that. So we went to a big place.
This property has been abandoned for 8 years. I was telling Steve about the dream we have to train regular schools to have a real inclusion. So this is going to be a training center also for regular schools to have kids with disabilities in their classrooms. This can become like a hub.
It's a hub,
for,
yeah, it's a training center, yeah,
for many ministries.
Yeah.
Bigger night to shine.
I want to tell you something.
Right out here, big tent.
I'm dreaming to have our next night to shine right here. And I show you where. Come on in. Every column will be a classroom. Look at that. One classroom there, one there.
We saw a lot of opportunity, but it was really broken down. It was it took a lot of vision to try to imagine what this place might look like and how it might be used to serve kids.
As we toured the facility, you're walking around, you got your respirator on, you got a flashlight. The building is old. It's been abandoned for a little while.
Have a lot of space in the back for offices or whatever we need.
And you're thinking, oh, on my mind is, oh man, the expense to bring this to life. It is a leap from Down Guatemala as they exist today to filling this kind of physical plant with people, with staff, and with kids. That is a step forward of huge scale, huge scope change, and big complexity.
What we see here is a lot of potential to do many things.
And so we get outside and he pulls back a major sign, a big street billboard. I don't know how many feet across and how many feet down, but it's like you would see along the highway. It was great. He had us stand back so that as he raised up his iPad, the vision was replaced with this beautiful sign of partnership and hope.
It's this design, what we've been dreaming for the last 4 years. The Tebow Down Guatemala Development and Learning Center, together with the Life Church.
It's a dream, it's a prayer, it's a hope, it's a vision.
It's a vision.
Whoa. And he would see TTF as a partner on two fronts: financially, accessing resources within the United States and within our family, but also bringing short-term teams into Down Guatemala to serve side by side with the full-time staff on short-term trips. And I love that vision. I love it. It's a very large vision. It is extremely beautiful, aggressive, and big. Hey, good morning, family. Day 2 in Guatemala. Today's going to be a pretty special day. We're going to start by going to the school, Down Guatemala. It'll be our first chance to really meet all of the kids en masse back at the school. In fact, today is their return from kind of a summer break. They should be pretty excited, huh?
Yeah.
A couple weeks off?
Oh, yeah. Once we were on vacations, and we received this call from one of the parents. You know, my son just put on his uniform, and can you explain that not because he's wearing uniform we are taking him to the school, because he's in vacations?
Yeah.
He thought, I'm gonna wear my uniform so I can go to school.
It makes it official, right?
Exactly.
It makes it so special for them. And when you think about, you put yourself in their little spot, what's going through their minds?
One of the things is that they feel accepted, that they feel like they are with friends, with people who loves them.
So when we got to Down Guatemala, I remember walking into that location and seeing the smiles of all the kids and just seeing the joy in their heart and just how excited they were to see us there and welcome us into their community.
From the principal to the front desk greeter to the teachers, you can just tell that they are ready with their arms open wide to teach and to love and to care for these children with Down syndrome, and not just Down syndrome, but some children with autism or other disorders that might need, you know, more of a specialized classroom. And just being around other children is just beautiful.
We have the opportunity to serve the poor, to serve the widows, to serve the orphans, because these kids are like orphans. I mean, their parents, their fathers, most of them, just live.
As we got to witness and see more of their operations, see how they poured into the kids, it was very easy to see how, first of all, that they love the kids. You know, they are so great at loving the kids there, and just the little nuances on how they provide that care and let the kids know that they're special. It was spectacular.
That's Susan. She's 12 years old, and she's like the more active girl in the group. Yeah, that's Vivian. She's really happy to see you today.
Just visiting each classroom and seeing all of the kids and how they were learning and how they were just interacting together, and the way that they, you could just tell, have become so close and truly our family.
Thank you for welcoming us into your school.
Muchas gracias por darnos la bienvenida en la escuela.
And already we feel your love. We found in Guatemala that there is a phenomenal ministry who gets it, and they're operating at a world-class level, physically, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and socially. They're doing it right.
I told him going in, I said, Steve, you're going to love it. You're going to love our partner family. You're going to love the school. You're going to love everything about it. And he called me, like, you're right. You're right.
One of the best parts was when they played the Night to Shine video, just watching them listen to the Night to Shine song. I mean, they were belting it out so loud. They were dancing, but it was their smiles that were just such a beautiful thing to watch and see.
I knew at that point in time that the Lord was placing this place on our heart.
And by the end of the 30-minute dance session, I mean, it's hugs, it's high fives, it's kids in your arms, it's holding kids up in the air. It just is so cool how all the barriers go away, and then it turns into this extraordinary experience over the course of a very short time that lets us into their lives.
I've never seen Zumba like at Down Guatemala, where they bring in this incredible instructor The children cannot wait to do Zumba. It's like they're prepared from the minute they walk through the doors. They can't wait to start. It's almost like a mini night to shine every week that they get to be a part of.
We felt, honored to be serving these families. I mean, it's 40 kids, Monday to Friday, it's like 20 babies on the afternoon.
It's hundreds
but
and hundreds of families.
Behind that, there is 200 people, 300 people, their families.
It's interesting, Alfredo, as he talks, at so many junctures, at the last minute, they were rescued by our incredible miracle-working God. It was really miracle after miracle that he articulated the story of where they're at today. And they were on the edge of really risk to continuing, and then God showed up and made a provision.
What we found is we had these two wonderful servants, Alfredo and Irene, that were essentially working for free. They did not have any funds available within their budget to be able to pay themselves a salary.
I love the fact that Alfredo and his family are all in, but not being paid is just not sustainable either for them, because they get to a place where then they are even at risk of maintaining this ministry. So
the Guatemalan culture is not necessarily to fortify their own. They're not a charitable culture necessarily in seeing needs like this.
So yeah, I don't think we've necessarily tried to look at areas, we try to look at need. And for me, I'm not a country-based person. I'm a need-based person. When I feel like God shows me a need and opens my eyes and my heart to it, I want to meet the need. I don't care if that's in Florida, in Arizona, in the Philippines, in Uganda, in Haiti, in Central America. It doesn't matter. If there's a need and we feel like God's calling us that need, we want to meet the need.
It's been a journey of faith. It's been a journey of faith. It's been a journey of meet right people at the right moment with the right heart. 2-3 years ago, this was a dream to have facilities where we can have the kids in the place where we are now. We have enough classrooms. We have a space for the babies. Actually, every place we use it for 2 or 3 different things, but it's amazing to have.
There's families that live all around in Guatemala that would love to have their children come, but because of constraints on their finances, because of lack of transportation, because of other obstacles that come up, they're unable to get their children over to where Down Guatemala is located. And so their hope and prayer is that they can have more campuses so that they can train more people. The more educators, the more physical therapists, it's a holistic approach. The more people that they can train and educate, the more children and families that will be served in Guatemala. And so that's a real prayer and just hope of theirs, is to be able to take Down Guatemala all over.
Seeing the building and seeing the opportunity and seeing the exponential growth that they saw on a short term, just the first thing that struck me was it might be more longer term than they were originally thinking, and that our role might be to come alongside them and do more incremental growth with them, fortifying their current base and looking at some of those steps we can take to get them there eventually.
What is the best way for us to be stewards and impact the most lives with the finite resources that we do have? We realize that we serve a big God and we want to step out in faith, but we want to make sure that when we do step out in faith that we're being called to step out.
We saw so many gifted teachers now joining Down Guatemala, really, really good at what they do. And that is the base that we need to make sure stays in place. That kind of love, that kind of talent, that kind of competent care providers have got to be in place year over year. Otherwise, there's just nothing to build on. We want them to begin to duplicate the things that they're really, really good at. So we'll add the programming that really is working to the afternoon. So we'll have a morning and afternoon session, and then we can talk about going next door as well and expanding so we can bring in more bodies. We're partnering now with Down Guatemala on a long-term basis. We have shared with them already that we will stay with them as long as the Lord gives us breath. It's journeying together, it's being community together, it's being in relationship together. Our God is a God of relationship, of substance, of depth. And we have to do that with the partners that we come alongside of. It's not a one-time grant, it's a process where we sit at the table, we work with them, we will be there frequently, and we are together with them as they advance the kingdom and change lives.